ridiculous.
Hello, everyone. This is the very first, or I guess you could say episode 0 of Shiny Cardboard. For an introduction sake, I am Matthew, and
I
uh,
am Nick.
yes, Nick, we have been collecting Pokemon cards in a weird timeline. I had been collecting ever since I was a kid, starting around the Diamond and Pearl era stuff, but obviously as a child, I didn't really see it like that, but I kind of came back during the end of X and Y, and I've been here ever since.
And I guess, yeah, that's where I would go in. I started, well,
Okay.
I got it all from my brother. I got most of my stuff from my brother, and I slowly delved into it somewhat recent. Well, about 2 years ago, back again. Got back into it with him, with Matt. And, everything's just kicked up ever since. A lot of stuff's been collected. A lot of sets have been completed. Quite just a little small handful. And
Yeah,
then we just, at the same time, trying to complete our personal stuff.
that
Ooh.
is very true. Just to give everyone kind of an idea of what we have completed, we started off with Cosmic Eclipse. That was the very first one. I remember vividly agreeing to do that one. We were like, okay, well, if we're gonna only ever do one, we gotta do like the most banger one. And so obviously Cosmic took that victory back in what 2020, end of
Mm-hmm.
2019, end of 2019.
No, not into 2019. End of 2020. It
End of
was like in
2020.
November. Yeah, like late November. I
Oh
think we finally
yes,
got our last cards.
yes. It was like we started before the whole Logan Paul thing, and trust me, if I ever talk about that, it's gonna be a long one. But we started a little bit beforehand, the big old boom, as they say. We've done Cosmic. He gifted me an entire base set of Ultra Prism, and then that got completed just through time. Before the giant Lily Surge, we did Champion's Path. You know, everyone has their little Charizard phase. We can almost everyone can agree to that. What else are we working on? We're working on Vivid. We're working on Astral Radiance.
Mm, Practically done with, almost done with celebrations.
Yeah, Celebrations as well. And then, uh, and then we're looking at either VSTAR Universe or Crown Zenith. So we're kind of here to talk about that actually. We could keep going in intros
Oh, that
on
flash.
just to
She
do
killed me through it.
very
120.
small introduction to my personal
Oh,
collection. I am collecting certain specific Pokemon that I really, really like from the 5th generation Unova and then the 7th generation Alola. And then, if you want to classify it as Gen 8, the
he's
Hisui
playing that
region
long.
from Pokemon Legends Arceus. Very
Yeah,
specific
watch point.
Pokemon, but maybe one of these days I'll kind of get around to showing everyone if
Yeah,
this goes
throwing.
anywhere. And yourself, Nick?
I just need him not to die to
Then
Randall
for
because Randall's
me,
one top.
my personal binder is just Pokemon I like.
You know the one way?
Little running
No.
theme,
Pick it. No,
coincidentally,
don't do
of
anything. Don't do it.
um what's his face? Ditto, Rillaboom,
Yeah,
and Crobat.
don't
They're
do
not
that.
Pokemon only ever really used
Don't do
Rillaboom
that.
on my team,
Just peek
but
him.
I just end up pulling like Rillaboom, Crobat,
No
and
need for that. Just peek his
Ditto
ass. Just
in
one
some sets
shot.
that I have, or just from sets that we've pulled. I have a bunch of them in Shinies, regulars, Vs, VMAXs. It's just a little running theme on it unintentionally. And then I'm a really big Typhlosion fan, Gen 2, Gen 3 fan. Favorite Pokemon is Typhlosion. So I have quite a decent section dedicated to him. And then just there's some personal cards in there from when I was younger, and then just a little mini Masters set of the Generations Radiant collection, and of course some trainers, just some like really nice trainer cards that I was able to get through time. And then for me, my personal big one is Shiny Star V. Just right when we're in the Sword and Shield era, the first high class set, as it's labeled in Japan. I've spent quite a bit on it, more than just a very, very fair amount. Well, not a fair amount, very a lot amount on that entire set. And I'm almost done with it. Due time. That does tend to dog on me for me saying that I'm going to complete it one day, or I'll complete it at this set period, and I don't. But it's coming. and hopefully I'll be able to show that as well. Because it's a little proud, I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be able to do that set and hopefully complete it. Because
They're
it would be
broken,
really
yeah.
weird to quit
We lose this one, I'm gonna
after
be so
like
upset.
spending so much on it.
Yeah.
But like I said, hopefully I'll be able to show it and
You come
we'll
over
be
here
able
with
to like show off our personal collections. It'd be really cool.
Yeah, I believe there's
me.
a
We're gonna peek garage a little bit.
philosophical
If
viewpoint called
Sage
the sunk
does not
cost
pop up,
fallacy,
we're gonna go
and I
Sulon
believe I have
because
that.
I want that orb.
I should only speak for myself though. So
Okay,
before we
everybody's coming
actually
here.
get
I'm just
started
gonna go
here,
Sulon.
Nick did mention that his favorite Pokemon is Typhlosion. I never mentioned mine. Mine is Keldeo from Gen 5. And to start off our podcast, I guess just kind of like a get to know everyone, if you even dare to comment on our video. Who is your favorite Pokemon, and how did it lead you into the series? And what type of things do you collect of it, if you do at all? Just to kind of, branch out towards y'all. So we're going to officially get started with the actual start of the podcast, which is, I guess we would call it Crown Zenith versus VSTAR
Raj.
Universe. Do you think that's a fair title?
Oh yeah, that's a very fair title because as of right now, it is 1 in the morning, but January 5th, we are almost,
bro.
we are a little bit, we're a
Hey,
little
man,
bit
man.
more, like 2 weeks in a day to
TikTok.
from the first like actual product release. We are the, what I've been told,
Sold.
the Crown
That's
Zenith ETB
sold.
Plus from exclusive to the Pokemon Center should be coming out that day, and then once that comes out, then
You
we have to
playing so
wait.
long, I
We
actually
get
think I can win that
we
round.
get monthly releases
Mm.
for it, but we're close to getting our first taste of it. And from what, like I
Alright.
said, from what we've
Well,
seen, it
oh
seems
well.
like there's quite a bit of differences between the English and the Japanese.
You have a good day at work tomorrow, Luke.
Yes,
I'll try to.
Let's see.
that is true.
It's too.
You getting off, Luke?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Well, you have a good rest.
Good
Yeah, I'll try to.
All right. Good night, Luke.
night, Luke.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay. So,
Wait, you mean like get off? Get off? Like,
oh, I
What?
thought you were getting off.
oh, I thought.
You,
Yeah,
you
Val.
want to stay for the podcast?
No.
I'll listen to it, yeah.
Okay. So going back to it, yes, Nick kind of mentioned everything that is the date where we're at right now, and a little bit of Crown Zenith compared to VSTAR. First of all, as we mentioned before, we mainly collected English just because it was a lot easier to get, whatnot, right? I think it was Chinese Star V where Nick took the plunge into Japanese, and through there we've kind of slowly trying to convert ourselves into Japanese because the quality of the cards is so much nicer. The silver borders that are always talked about with Japanese cards just being a very nice color compared to the yellow in English is another definite reason. But it's kind of rare where English puts its money where its mouth is, honestly. I think Crown Zenith is definitely a set that is doing that. I mean, obviously excluding the yellow borders. The only reason is because we're getting the premium box collection Pikachu full art that has a bunch of other Pokemon on it, and to me that's a genuine surprise because I mean, if you look at some of the old Gen 7 cards, like a good majority of them actually didn't make it over into a set or hell English at all. So it's very cool to see a card like that actually be in the set. So we're seeing something like that. We're seeing something like the autograph Galar trainer cards, Leon, Nessa, B, and Raihan. And then I think Bead and Hop have one. And then we did get the Marnie one in a Marnie premium collection. But, I mean, nonetheless, I mean, we're getting these Japanese cards that I genuinely never thought we were going to ever see in English in Crown Zenith. And compared to VSTAR Universe, it's just the base set is practically a straight reprint of the sets, probably starting from the Brilliant Stars Japanese equivalent. I forget the name. Starbirth.
Starbirth.
I think it's from there towards what was Paradigm Trigger.
Yes, I would. I feel like it would be Paradigm Triggers.
I mean, we may be incorrect. We're
Feels
just
like
two
at
dudes
least.
doing this, so please don't harp on us just yet. But we're seeing a lot of just like straight reprints, no different artwork on it, which is, fine and all. I mean, realistically, the reason why you're buying VSTAR Universe is because you want to get a sweet hit of like an alternate art, an art rare, maybe the gold origin forms, full art trainer. That's what you're going for. You're not buying it for the bulk, unless you're
Mhm.
really like aiming for a master set or a deck. But even then, you can just buy what's already been out. So with that, I should speak my turn here. So, looking at the additional cards in Crown Zenith, it's kind of cool to see English actually get stuff like that. And then throughout the base set, it looks like we're getting a lot of the gym promo stuff and just some cards that never brought over from those other base sets as well.
No, yeah, no, it's I really do like that. Because when you compare like just seeing previous high cost sets, they're always like how Matt said, they're always reprint sets. You just get cards from back then, just from previous sets beforehand, from one point to another, and you never really get anything new. Japan, like course restated, Japan gets specific cards that we never get, like how it was that one Pikachu promo with Urshifu, Crobat, Zacian Zamazenta, or Zacian Inteleon, the trainer cards. But now, in comparison to English, we're getting those cards, and it really does feel like Crown. It feels like it's two different sets. Feels like English is getting. It's essentially the cards that never made it to the West set, and Japanese is just, since they don't need to do that, they can just stick with the usual reprint central set. They don't need to make anything new. Only things they may need to make new are the things that they want to bring you, like entice you to buy their boxes, like the Galarian Gallery, the trainers, all the friend cards, friends from Alola, just that one's always stuck in my head. Friends from Asui, friends from Sinnoh, the plethora of the Galarian cards and their pretty art styles, and then just all the trainers, and especially the coveted gold cards, Origin, Palkia, Dialga, and then Giratina and Arceus. And then they also have their little promos dedicated just to certain Pokemon, but we're getting those as promos as well. And the Galarian Bird tins, and also the ETB Plus from the Pokemon Center. So it's just really interesting to see like what we're gonna be getting from what we were able to get as a brand new thing, which for Japan is already like established for them. They've already had it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, he hit it right on the nail there. I mean, realistically, right? We've been talking about like the differences between both sets, both English and Japanese. Japanese being straight reprints, and English being some of those Japanese, like I said, gym promos are just other cards that were in a special deck, like box, the 100 start deck box, I think. Cards from that, they're being in the English base set, and obviously to us, they're new. So whether you want to say, oh, is it really new? That's up to you. But in, like an English perspective, it's, I would say, kind of cool that we're getting something like that, and it's kind of not, it's not like like a huge deal, but it's like, it's enough to warrant like differences between the card, at least compared to VSTAR Universe, where they're just, the whole entire base set is practically cards that have been reprinted from other sets, and I think that does exclude some of the V stars. I think Origin, Dialga, Palkia, V-Star that we got in a premiere box back in October, they finally just made their way into that Japanese set in VSTAR Universe. So although it's not all reprints, you kind of get the idea of what I mean. So there's that. And a lot of it comes down to cost efficiency and just money, because that's quite literally what's funding this hobby, right? And so if there's anything about me, I love to do like calculations. I love to sort bulk. I love to do all that kind of like work that can be seen as like really annoying. Like, oh, right? Like some people are just like, if I have the money, I'll just buy it.
Oh yeah.
Like me, no. I always try and go for the most cheap but effective way, because I mean, realistically, unless you step out of this hobby will continue going. There's no signs of stopping for Pokemon. Highest grossing franchise in the world, I believe. So there's no stopping this. So, you know, it's going to keep moving and moving and moving. So money is definitely a giant factor in collecting here. And so we kind of wanted to talk about some of the differences within that, as well as some of the price ranges, some of the speculation, because obviously Crown Zenith isn't out yet, but VSTAR Universe is, and see the trend of Japanese cards and what makes them so high versus English cards and what makes them so high. And once again, this is just speculation for Crown Zenith. There is no set in stone price. We're 15 days away from it releasing. So if you have any more words to add on, Nick, I'm gonna kind of go on a rant here. So
You're good.
Speak your truth.
No, I mean, pretty much most bases have been like practically all the bases have been covered, other than just in comparisons. But it just depends. Like for most people, when it comes to just a chase set like this, yeah, it always feels really fun to crack open a box and see what you can get. Like that just like first essentially the possibilities are endless. You can pull a god pack. You can pull you can just pull really cool card, but that's how at least that's how I felt when it came into Shiny Star V. I'm essentially 6 boxes deep into it. Got 2 of them from the Nessa box, and then 4 others from separate occasions. Paid a price I wouldn't. I mean, they were always above they were always around 100 or so. So I mean, hey, it was quite a bit of money went into it, because I guess the prices never really dropped, and especially since now it's out of print, they are not going to drop. But it was just always the fact of you just it's always the funny thing we always say about it is it's literally gambling. Like you wanna be able to go through and see what you get. Even there's a very good chance that you won't really get anything, or in my case, buying your 6th box at a convention, at a card convention in Dallas, and you have almost the entire set in your hand already in a binder, and you just want to buy one because, at least for me, I had 5 and I want to even it out to 6 because I like even numbers, and plus it looks nice on the little shelf I have. But I bought it just for the fun of it and to see what I get. Hopefully I get a cool card that I don't have. But I'm pretty sure when I opened mine, every single box was a duplicate except 1 or 2. But that's not the case for most people. You always just want to see what you can hit. But when it comes to VSTAR Universe, it feels like, what's it called? For the price you're paying for the boxes, there's a very good chance you might not get something you really want. When in reality, you could use that money that you spent for that card or for that box on one specific card. But because I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to drop about $100 on a card. I guess it's just the sense of, I can, instead of buying my way there, I can buy a box and there's a chance I get it. But it all just depends for everyone. Some people go into this with a whole lot more money than we have, and they'll just be able to blow it like it's nobody's business. But for us, we always just try to see whatever's a cost-effective situation. Jeez, yeah, that's any order for VSTAR on or after March. Oh, Jesus, it is nuts.
Very much so.
Yeah,
much.
but just to close it, it's for me, at least my part. It's just cost effectiveness, and you just because you don't want to spend all your money into on a very good chance that you won't get it. So you always just want to look for the best option possible, and you just want to see how it can go in your favor, and for the chance that, hey, instead of me spending on all of my money on this one box for a chance for me to get this card I want, I can just put most of my money towards that one card that I want, and then I'm able to have some extra money on the side and just get some other extra cards and stuff like that from the set or from something else. And then I think we'll be all set and ready to go for Matt to take his part.
Well said. He kind of talked about the perspective of buying versus singles. I think that's a whole other topic in itself, so I'm going to just ignore that for now and move on towards the actual video. I feel like I keep saying that we haven't, but we've been talking about it. I think we've been doing okay. So as you all can see on the screen, we have Pizza Hut Irida on there. If you're not familiar, shame on you, but Irida is a character from Legends Arceus, the game that came out in 2020 in January. 2022. Came out in 2022 in January. And she is the most expensive card in VSTAR Universe, to no surprise. Simply because, well, for starters, we don't play the game competitively. We can kind of keep up with it, but we don't really play it. There's too many other games to play, like actual games, not even including card games. It's a whole other bucket by itself. But obviously, from what I know, she's good to play, so that obviously does increase some of the value. And then, on the other hand, the main reason why she's probably, like, why 75% of that market price is that high is simply because she's a girl. I mean, if you're new to this, like, I'm sorry to break the ice to you like that, but if you have been a part of the community, you know damn well that's the reason. Like, 75% of the percentage of price marking is only because of that. You know, there's that nasty term that I don't like, but waifu, it's kind of gross. It's like, okay, guys,
Awful.
like we're grown-ups here. Like, you just like the character design. That's all you have to say. You like the character design, and plus the character herself is really cool in the game. So she is, last time I checked on simple by searches, she was about 200-ish, around there. That's kind of where she debuted, 220. I usually like to look at Bai because that's straight from like a Japanese market. I know there's other websites, and I'm still trying to find the most efficient one to like lock down on, because Bai is really broad. You know, you can find one for 140, you can find one for 220. I don't think that's the reason, but that is you know, it wasn't surprising when the set dropped and she was that much. I remember talking to Nick. He called me. He was like, "Look at Adam and Irida," and I was like, "Yo," right? And then I was like, "Dang, Irida's gonna be like $400."
It just sucks.
And
It
so
just sucks, man.
And so, you know, it's kind of unfortunate to see because it's a character you love. You know, you like seeing him in the game. You like, you know, you just like the character. And then you see that big old price tag on it. It's kind of like, so, right? And then we could look at something like Elisa Sparkle, the black and white 2 version of her outfit. Obviously, Elisa Sparkle is a reprint. And if you compare the prices from Japanese, like just like the one from Fusion Strike, from Japanese to English, there's a good margin between them. I guess I assume she's not good, like competitively, hence why she's, why she's a lot cheaper. But like in VSTAR Universe, I've seen her for 120, like lowest. Once again, a woman, and that's what drives the price. So, you know, it does suck, especially for like from a collecting standpoint. I know you can get mad at us and harp since we're not talking competitive. But if we haven't already established by the name Shiny Cardboard, we're a collecting group. So yeah, just looking at those two. And if you want to like speculate how they'll be in Crown Zenith, it's all in the air, but I can see Irida being, you know, a fair 40. I mean, her Astral Radiance is 30. I mean, she might go up. The artwork is arguably better in the VSTAR Universe. It's got the Diamond Clan and the Pearl Clan, all of them, you know, kind of facing one another. So it's definitely a difference in the art there, and the price shows. But even in Space Juggler, Irida is like $200. So it's like, you know, the Japanese versions of the woman usually will always be very, very high. So, you know, that might be an opposing thing that's, you know, that it's like staring you in the eye if you want to do VSTAR Universe. It's like, dang, like I want to do VSTAR Universe. I want the nice, high quality cards of Japanese, but then boom, you're hit with a $200 Irida. Boom, you're hit with a $120 Elisa, simply because, you know, they're that much just because they're girls. And it's, in my opinion, ridiculous. Agree, disagree. Don't really care. But, you know, I can't really do anything about it unless I crack more packs and spend, what, another $120 on a VSTAR box, which I am not doing. These boxes are supposed to retail for like $40, $50. And the market on them, I don't see them going any... I don't see it going down anytime soon, even after Crown Zenith drops. It's just the difference between Japanese and English within that front. It would be nice, but it looks like they're going to just continue reprinting VSTAR Universe. So we'll probably see a portion of War Singles in general take like a dip. Like the set overall goes down, and then in this weird gap between restock and I don't know if we're restocking, then that's when we'll see it start go up, just like VMAX Climax did. And yeah, and before I end it off, another like hardship, I guess, with the prices on Japanese is the God Pack. Now, God Packs are nothing new to Japanese sets, but VSTAR Universe did include one with 9 cards of 9 separate Pokemon that all formulate one image if you were to combine them all together. It's very nice. The artwork is very nice, don't get me wrong. But realistically, putting those 9 cards in a God Pack, something that's, people speculate, oh, there's only one God Pack in a case. Like, to me, was that really necessary? Like, don't get me wrong, like I said, the artwork is nice, but $300 to $200 for those cards alone is just like really off-putting to me. I'm like talking out like my high chair here. It's just really off-putting because it's like come on, like when English drops, those cards I can see being the Pikachu obviously will be the most, but what, $15 speculation? I know, but we'll see in due time. That's just a personal pet peeve of mine. Like, I was actually really disappointed with that because, like, it's just so like off-putting to a collector. Like, the artwork is nice, but $200 is kind of snooze.
Yeah, it's the fact that they're locked behind that chance that you have to really hope you get a case. Well, not hope you get a case. You hope you buy the box that's the one that has that pack. You really just have to hope. Like I'm pretty sure it was the same thing for VMAX Climax, but Shiny Star V and I'm pretty sure VMAX Climax, they both had God packs where the chance you pull it, each and every single pack is a hit V or higher, or V and higher. It wasn't or, it was guaranteed V and higher. But you could just get so many good hits from it. You could get like out of the 10 cards, you could get like 3 Vs, four V maxes, like, and then two of them or so could be shinies, and then you could get the black and gold cards, or a shiny V card, like the V Max card, like the Charizards and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure V Max Climax was the same thing, just in variation with the black gold cards, with the black gold cards, or I think with the trainer gallery cards. But still, in general, there's a chance you could get really, really good pulls, and none of those cards were locked. None of those cards were locked to that God pack. But for VSTAR Universe, it's 9 nice portrait cards that all make one beautiful, one really pretty image. That when you put it all together, it'll be all nice and put together. But I'm pretty sure when you put it in a binder, you'll get like 2/3 of the image on one, like on the bottom part of the page, and then the rest of the image continues on the back of that page, of that 9 pocket page. So it kind of just ruins it right there. I think it just reminds me also like how, like, if you open VMAX Climax, there's a chance that you can get the what's it called, the Morpeko V Union. There's a chance you can pull it. I pulled it, and I'm pretty sure if you organize a whole binder for that set, I think it's pretty off. I think that doesn't even actually make the full image, which is really I mean, hey, I guess it's just hey, I was about to say Nintendo. I guess it's just the Pokemon Company being weird with the whole situation. But it's just really weird having a God pack that really isn't anything in comparison to before, to the 2 previous ones that we've had in this whole Gen 8 era of Pokemon cards. It's nothing really special. It's nothing special compared to what we got before. And I feel it's personally a letdown. And like Matt said, when English comes out, I also really feel that the values for those cards will drop, and then at that point it just becomes preference. You want like the white borders, you like the white borders or the silver borders, or you like the yellow borders, or you just like the nice like hollow on the card from Japanese compared to English. I feel like it's just gonna end up to preference at that point. But as of right now, it doesn't. I mean, at least for me, it doesn't. And I mean, obviously for Matt as well, it just doesn't seem too great. It's not really a. It's essentially a letdown.
Yeah, and I mean, just to like, I'm gonna have to start integrating this in for all the cards we talk about. But just to give y'all an idea, obviously, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's the 9-card God Pack, right? Illustrated by Koyuki Saito. So, we gotta credit them, right? They're the real MVPs here. This is the real reason why we're buying these cards, right? A little round of applause for them.
Oh yeah.
The artists and the illustrators, right? They do amazing jobs, regardless. It's just such a shame that sometimes these cards can just boom skyrocket for some of the goofiest reasons, I would say, in my opinion.
I'm always with the understanding of two things that can make a card expensive. One, it looks nice. Two, it's competitively viable. I don't like to see the fact that exclusivity is a factor. The kind of like if it's a female or a male, at least for in the U.S., age, which is sadly a thing. It's for some reason it's just the younger the characters are, sometimes the more expensive they are. No, it's them. That's just some people being weird. It's not us though, but that's just them. It's just I just wish that cards wouldn't be so expensive when it comes to exclusivity stuff like this. It's really a hassle for like Matt and I, because if we wanted to, like I said, if we wanted to do VSTAR Universe as a set, we would have to essentially spend 2 boxes worth to get those cards, to get 9 cards, which really just doesn't seem worth it. That's us. That's how I feel. I'm pretty sure Matt would probably feel the same.
Yeah, so I mean, that was just like what, a group of 11 cards we talk about. I mean, honestly, I could go individually, and if I have the okay, damn, I will, right? But
Oh yeah.
I can make it brief. I'm looking at a list of the special art rare cards in VSTAR Universe, and I have most of these off the top of my head in price. I may be incorrect. Please don't smite me if I'm wrong. But starting out with the Leafeon, in Japanese, I've seen it for about 20 bucks, nothing insane. In English, I believe it will be higher simply because it's an evolution, and I am not a personal fan of them. I mean, they're cool and all, but I don't buy into the hype of them. But I can see why people do, so I can see why that card might be more expensive. I'm looking at the Charizard V Altart that we got in the Zard UPC. It's about $30 in Japan. In the US, I looked today, I think it was around $10 as a promo card. The V-Star Charizard Alts was about $15 here in the US, and in Japan, I think it's around $50 if I'm correct. So a little bit of a price gap there. The Entei, I have no idea. I would say maybe like 20 bucks. I don't know. I don't know how this one would do in English. I think it would be around that price, or maybe even higher. A lot of people do love the Johto dogs, I'd say.
God bless them. I love them.
Yeah, so I would say maybe around that price range, a little bit higher, if anything. Semi-Seer will probably be low. I think so. I mean, damn, like, everyone hated the monkeys. People still do hate the elemental monkeys. But this artwork by Nagano, that's all it's telling me. Very, very cute. I love all the Pan-Seers in the back, and then the Semi-Seer eating the pear. This one goes for about 25 in Japanese. I would see it being either around that or lower in English. Suicune from... am I really going to say all the illustrators for all of them?
Gorgeous. It's a gorgeous card. I absolutely love that card so much.
It's a very beautiful card, right? It's another Johto dog. So I can... And Suicune, I would say, tends to be more popular, probably just because it got its own game. I want to say it was about 30 in Japanese. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know I've been looking. In
I could see it
English,
being the same price or that price. It would make sense.
yeah, I could see it being that price or higher. Luminion,
Oh.
it's a very nice card. I like it. Luminion with its second alt. I don't see this one being too much. I've seen this one for about 10 to 15 on Japanese. Glaceon, I do see this one being a little bit more expensive. I want to say this is either around 20 to 30 in Japanese. In English, I expect it to be more simply because it's in Evolution. Raikou. I think I keep saying 25 to 30 for everything. 20 to 30, unless where a lot of these special art rares are. Raikou, I could see more or less around there in English. Zeraora
Oh.
VMAX, huh?
No, just looking at the art, just little Pachirisu and Tokenomaru, and then Emolga. Literally, I just noticed all three of them are on there.
Yeah, Zeraora
just-
VMAX. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just commenting myself. Just a really nice card. I like it personally.
Yeah, so this card, we've seen actually quite a bit of Zeraora. It's actually gotten VMAX, VSTAR, on alt and Chilling Reign. It's getting two more alts in this, so props to Zeraora for getting so many cards in Gen 8. But yeah, VMAX, no idea. I would say 15 to 20 if I'm incorrect. I am. I want to say I can see this one probably being either around there or higher, only because of the Chilling Reign one. That one's been kind of going up in price recently. The V-Star of Zeraora, no idea. I think I've seen it for 15. I think I actually saw it for 10 today on Bai. Reminder, this is on Bai, not like price charting or anything. I think it'll definitely be more, since I think Zeraora has a little bit of a fan base here. Mewtwo V-Star, I think I've seen it for about 30. This one I would expect to be higher, hence Charizard is on there, and plus the artwork's very nice. So I expect to see it higher. I hope it's not. Deoxys VMAX with, I think that's Orbeetle in the background. Very beautiful card by Akira Komayama. A very nice color, a palette around the whole card. I really like that. This one's not too expensive, 10 to 15 I think I saw. I can see it being more, honestly. The V-Star, which is Deoxys in its speed form, I believe.
Yes.
Don't know. I'd say about 15 off the top. I can see it being a little bit more. Hatterini, very nice card. Like the sparkles and all the Dyna raid dens on it. I don't see this card being a lot, truthfully. I think I've seen it for like 10 bucks. Zacian, very nice card. I'm going to say that for almost every card, because truly VSTAR Universe is one of the most beautiful sets we've ever gotten as like a whole. So you can't really blame me. Zacian, not too much, 10 to 15. I don't see it being that much more. Lucario is in the ETB, so I guess you could say it's indefinitely more just to get the ETB. But on its own, we'll see it for like 10 eventually. Drapion from Yukamori.
Yukamori, the little figurine, plasticine figurine model.
Yes.
Absolute legend is what she is.
Some people don't like this art style, but to that, me and Nick are both in disagreement. To each their own, obviously, but this art is very, very cute. This one I've seen for 10. I expect it to be maybe more, but not much by anything. This is Darkrai by Pani Kobayashi. Wow. I saw this card when it came out, but just looking at it in a more high-res image, just wow. Like it's on a beach, and it looks like there's some sort of like door there. I don't think that has to do with anything with the event, though.
No, the event, the original event is you going into a kid's dream and trying to wake him up because Darkrai is keeping him essentially in a nightmare. She's just trying to get the kid out. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have any, at least pretty sure it doesn't have anything to do with the event. It's just a brand new art style, just really like gorgeous, like really pretty.
Really beautiful. The moon's there, but it's also has some sunlight just from Darkrai being a Pokemon of nightmares. Hisuian Samurott V. This is a V. Very beautiful card. I love the autumn leaves and what I assume to be Mount Coronet in the background there. Samurott on a little ledge. Very beautiful card. This one, 10 to 15. I don't see it. No, I don't think it would be more in US. The V-Star with the dark flames, the dark pulse flames, and then Snorunt in front of it. I want to say 15. I don't think it would be more. Might be wrong. Hoopa V, very nice card. Hoopa with a lot of treasure.
That one's super nice.
10 to 15, I would say, in Japanese from what I've seen. I don't see it being more. And obviously, when the set comes out, of course, it's going to be like a lot. But through time, it'll slowly,
Die down.
yes. Zamazenta. And this card's very nice, too. There's so much, like, different shades of red going on. And then you can see the reflection on the pond here. This is from Haru Akasaki. Very beautiful card. This one I've seen for 10. I don't see it being more, since Zamazenta is the least popular one out of the two. Regigigas VMAX pulling an Atlas from Greek mythology, carrying a continent on its back. A very beautiful card. This is from Aya Kusube. This one I've seen cheap, $5 to $10 in Japanese. I hope it stays that way in English. But maybe some of the collectors in English appreciate it a little bit more and give it more of a price tag. But hopefully not, right? Very beautiful, though. Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. An amazing, amazing card. This is from C.A. Nanahara. Oh man, I saw this card when I was at my job, and I was like, yo! It was funny. A very, very beautiful card. This card I've seen 20 to 30 in Japanese. I really hope it stays within that range in English, because it's just so beautiful. Okay, so that went through all the special art rares. Next, the trainer cards that I'm looking at is Chloris's Experiment. This is my favorite trainer from all of Pokemon, obviously being from Black and White too. Very beautiful card. I like how he's holding a burger. That's very, very cool and hip of him. Irida here I'm looking at. I already said it before, but I don't see this card being on the levels of Japanese. I'd cry if it was. But obviously we have the whole Pearl clan in the background and Ingo. I'm not showing his face, but poor Ingo. I'm thinking, so obviously she's like 200. Definitely lower. I'm going to say at max, we'll probably see her at 70. I might be wrong though. Next we have Raihan. He's assigning a Pokeball to a kid. He's got a little Rotom phone. A very cool artwork. Very true to his character from Sword and Shield. This one I actually don't know. I want to say like 15 to 20. I can see it being less in English since it's just Raihan. But not to say Raihan's bad. Grant's here. This art style, the artwork itself is nice. It's kind of blocky, which I think some people kind of don't like. I think it looks pretty cool. And just kind of like the dimensions on the limbs is a little bit more like extended than what a normal human should be doing. But this card I've seen for 5 to 10 in Japanese. I expect it to stay that way in English. Hence, look at the Astral Radiance price. Cynthia's Ambition with her Gastrodon. This one is one of the more pricier ones in Japanese. I've seen it range from 60 to 80 around there on Bai. In English, I know the Cynthia's Ambitions from Brilliant is very cheap right now, but I can probably see this one being more just since it's new, but hopefully it'll stay down. So I think this will be maybe at launch around that range, but I definitely see it being lower. And shout out to the Live Slug. Ooh, here we have Adaman, the leader of the Diamond Clan. Very cool character, an amazing character design. I think both him and Irida just knocked it out of the ballpark with, the characters in Legends Arceus. This is from Naoki Saito. I think we've said that name before. But yes, very beautiful. Adaman goes for about $20, 20 to 30, and I expect him to be around that range, if not lower in English. Next we have a reprint. This is Sharon's Care. I'm trying to figure out what route this is in Black and White. But Sharon's Care, Sharon goes for about $10. I expect him to stay around there or lower in English. Here we have Roxanne in this very nice art style. Dang. I want to say
I never actually noticed. Huh.
Yeah, a lot of the fossils, right?
Yeah, I never noticed just the high quality of it. I never actually noticed the actual art style. I thought it was just like regular Roxanne, but no, it looks really nice. It's a really pretty card. You get to just all the kinds of fossils, all the kind of fossils in the museum. Really pretty.
Very nice artwork. That one, I want to say 25. I think it'll be below. Here we have Gardenia. A very beautiful card. This is a very, very nice one. We have her little blossom down there, and she's watering the plants in her garden, being the grass type gym leader. Very beautiful card, I will say so. A lot of nice rosary, flowery details. I want to say 40 to 35 in Japanese. I think it'll be lower in English. We'll see though. Next we have Melanie. This card was actually just revealed in Crown Zenith in the Galar Gallery. But I mean, it's nice. It's a nice card. Like I'm gonna keep saying it, but like this is truly like my subjective perspective on the art that I'm looking at. A lot of details in this one, right?
Yeah, it's a really nice card. I like it. Just what I always like about trainer cards is we always get to see either them do like them in their not them in their prime, but just them doing the things they do, like Pokemon battles, Raihan with his Duraludon. Yeah, with his autograph session with his Duraludon. But then we also get to see things like this, like with Melanie. She's cooking at home. She's getting home a nice big feast, and then like say for example, like Grant collecting fruit and stuff like that. We love seeing the different perspectives of just what the card, like the little story it tells. It's just really great to see.
Right on. I think this one's anywhere from 15 to 25. It's not one of the expensive ones. I think this will be around there or lower in English. Oh, we've went full circle. And then the next cards are the super rare cards. So next we have Volo in his Ginkgo Guild merchant uniform. We saw Volo in Lost Origin, and that card is cheap, so I expect this card to be cheap. But nonetheless, as you see on the screen, we have a little representation of Volo. So we're pretty big fans of him. No spoilers, but obviously if you're in this deep, you already know what he does. So very, very cool Volo. He's about $10. I expect him to drop in English. We have Elisa Sparkle. This is Elisa from her Black and White 2 outfit. And like I said beforehand, I do see this card dropping in value over time. Definitely won't be as expensive as the Japanese one. But if I'm proven wrong, I will cry. Next we have Friends in Sinnoh. And can I just say, I'm so happy that we're getting these Friends in region cards. We got shafted with Friends in Alola Friends. I'm gonna cry. We get it, right? But we went from Alola Friends to Galar Friends to Sinnoh Friends to Hisui Friends. And I just have to appreciate, the range that we're starting to get with these cards. But yes, Friends in Sinnoh. It's got Lucas, Dawn, Barry, Cynthia, and Volkner. This card goes for anywhere from 50 to 60, I believe, in Japanese. I expect it to probably be lower. Next, we have Professor Rowan. He's about $5 to $10, or Professor's Research, but it's Professor Rowan. This card will be cheap, around the same range. And then next, we have Friends in Hisui, a card I looked forward to the most from the set. One of them, if not. We have Ray and then Akari, I think that's their names. And then we have Adaman and Irida as well as a group, just as they were in the game. So a very beautiful representation of the Hisui characters from Kinu Nishimura. So applause for that one there. And I think that's it for this suit. Oh no, we have Cyrus. So we have Boss's Orders or Cyrus. And this one will be coming out in some form of deck box, I believe, in the US, right?
Yes, that one is. I think that one alongside maybe one other card for English, or it might just be him. But yes, he is gonna be in one just alongside, just like Professor. Name's blinking out.
Juniper.
Burnett? Professor Juniper, the Juniper box, and then the Marnie one as well.
Yeah. So very nice. And then they did have the super rare energy cards in VSTAR. According to a leak, we are getting these secret rare energies. I hope they keep the. Well, I know they're not gonna, but if there's anything to hope for, I hope they keep the silver-ish borders, and not just like on a common card level, but like like on an actual like full art silver border level they do with the energies. Cause I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of the golden rainbows. The only golds I'll have exception for are the ones I'm moving on to next, which are the Origin Forms V-Star cards in gold. And we are starting with the beautiful Space Haunts, also known as Origin Form Palkia. And these are all illustrated from Akira Igawa. So, mad props to that. I almost cried when I saw these cards get leaked. Just a really big fan of these Origin Forms. But, yeah, Origin Palkia goes for around 40 to 50 in Japanese. And I can actually see it staying around there in English just off of the other alt origins we have. Same with Dialga. Dialga seems to be a little bit more pricier, not by much, but a little bit more pricier than Palkia, which is odd because Palkia is actually the more playable card, but I guess it's more of a preference thing amongst people. So, Origin Dialga, I would say around the same 40 to 50. I would think it would be the same as well. Next, we have Origin Giratina. This one is actually the most expensive out of all of these from what I remember. I've seen this one as low as 100, but I've seen a median of about 120 comfortably in Japanese. I would like to say it's going to go down in English. I really hope it does. But we all know how the alt in Lost Origin has gone up. So people will be looking to get their hands on these, I'm not going to lie. Very beautiful. Hopefully it's lower, but I can see it being about the same or even higher, which I kind of don't want to see. And next, we have the Alpha Pokemon itself, Arceus V-Star. Amazing card. What a way to send off the set. Last card in VSTAR Universe and the last card in Crown Zenith. Ending it off with the god, essentially, of Pokemon, Arceus, right? A very, very nice self-centered portrait of Arceus being very, like,
Regal.
Yeah.
Yeah, glorious, regal, majestic. Just a very like holy presence to that card. The way his how his stance is, his posture is, and with the whole image that the card would make, just having him at the center, highest above everyone there, is just gorgeous.
A very beautiful card. I've seen this card drop down in price in Japanese. I've seen it around 80 to 100. I'd like to hope that it drops. We'll see, though. We'll see how the market in English reflects. But yeah, that is all of the that is all of the I'm sorry. That is all of the full art alternate arts. And I could go through all the art rares, but respectively, besides the Mew, they all go for like $2 or $3. Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. I need to get a damn gallon of water when I do this. My throat is, you can already hear it in my voice, it's drying up.
Hey, no, that's all good. Yeah, it's a rant. We very understandable rant. We just being able to show off what what VSTAR Universe entails for their prices and what we would feel, how it would be for us. But it kind of just goes to show that for this set, you really just want to, if you got the money for it, go ahead and crack a box. Oh, means no one's stopping you there. You always want to see what the special, what makes these high class sets so damn special, or what makes them so damn high class. You always want to get a taste. You want to just crack open a box and see how it is. But just trying to complete your set or go for a specific card you want from this set, but just by the means of cracking a box, it's not really the best bet. It really, It just would be so much more cost effective if you just bought the card itself, or waited for the English version, which there's a good chance that it could be cheaper, or the what we hope, fingers crossed, is what we find out possibly in like 2 weeks. What we just is it doesn't get expensive. We're just really hoping, but we all know how people will inflate a card's price would by any means necessary just for the factor of selling it, and just selling it towards just drives the market up even more and doesn't make it available for everyone else.
He's definitely right about that. We've been going on for an hour here. Realistically, I don't think anyone at the start is going to listen to an hour podcast of TV goofs. I mean, I'm ready to kind of end it. I could go on realistically.
Oh, we can.
I'll make it quick. But if you're here still, thank you from both of us. At least for our first episode, it means a lot, right? To put on quite literally the most bare minimum podcast one could imagine.
Yeah, like I kid you not, literally, this podcast was discussed. I kid you not. Let me see. Texted him about it. I literally mentioned to it as a joke at 4:25 earlier today, counting still as this is the day, as the day hasn't ended yet, at least for us. But at 4:25 in the afternoon on January 4th, I mentioned it as a joke, and look, here we are, making the first episode, basically Shiny Cardboard episode 0, the test run. And if it just seems cool, if it seems really cool, or it somehow pops off, we can just shine the edges, buff it up, make it look nice and pretty, and then we can continue even onward.
Very true. So, that kind of covers the whole thing we wanted to talk about, I believe. Unless you have more to say, Nick.
Oh no, everything's been, I think, as far as like we know, everything's been mentioned, and then everything's been said and done, and we can follow up with, like, say for example, we can follow up with this topic again, like Shiny Star, Shiny Star, Crown Zenith versus what's it called, versus VSTAR Universe. When the launch happens in 2 weeks, we can scan over and just see how prices are, how the first days and first impressions when it comes to prices are.
Very true. So, I'm not gonna end the entire thing off, but for the main episode, I want to cap it at an hour, just because I realistically don't see a lot of people staying here that long for a new podcast. Hence, even in general, an hour is a long time. But if you're listening to us as you're going to sleep, waking up in the morning, and starting your day, or at your job just to get through the time, from both of us, thank you very much. I'm Matthew.
And I'm Nicholas.
This is Shiny Cardboard episode 0. Alas. And this is the extended cut of Shiny Cardboard 0. I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit more about VSTAR Universe and the differences between Crown Zenith. It shouldn't be that long, just so you guys can go and do other things with your time. But once again, thank you for staying with us. So we were talking about earlier how there are differences between the set, right? It seems like in Crown Zenith we're getting like the gym promos instead of VSTAR Universe. We're getting just like reprints from the sets, which is a very nice comparison to look at. We only have a select handful of cards that have been released for Crown Zenith. Kyogre V from the gym promos, Rotom V-Star from, I think it was a special deck of Zacian versus Zamazenta. Zeraora V-Star, no idea. I think it was a deck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Most of these tend to be just from decks themselves.
Greedent V was from the 100 start deck, I believe. The Galar signature cards were from their own special collections. And yeah, so it's very interesting to see how they split it up into this kind of difference of sets. It's kind of interesting they did it that way, but at the same time, it's very cool that they were able to fit all of the cards from V-Star that were new into Crown Zenith. I think they were really trying to go for something like that because this is quite literally the end of Generation 8 as we prep into 9 and Sword and Shield, or I'm sorry, Scarlet Violet. That set, I believe, comes out on actually the same day as Crown Zenith. I believe Scarlet Violet base set in Japan comes out January 20th. I think it does. So that'll be
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
it'll be a very interesting day for both English and Japanese collectors. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, this is a very demanding hobby, depending on how hard you go. We included the picture. Oh man, who is that? I forgot his name.
Let me see. Or You're talking about Vince Carter, right?
Vince Carter, yes.
Oh.
Yes, Vince Carter. We have the image there, and it's obviously too blurry to see, but the idea was that if you can see the little phrase, it says, "I got one more in me," because the joke is all every time you think you're done with something, there's always something else that comes out, and then it's like, "Oh, I got one more in me," right? So that's a little just joke we have going on here. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna talk just a little bit more. I know I said that already, but I'll do a quick. No, should we just end it?
I say we've been pretty I have to say plenty has been covered. Like we've seen everything that VSTAR Universe has brought us. We've talked about what Crown Zenith has brought us in comparison to what VSTAR Universe doesn't have, and just prices and range like that. For the time being, I say that I think we're all set. I think we're all set when it comes to this entire topic till release. And like I said previously, in the original cut, it's just wait and see. We'll see how the English prices come out too. And like first day's impressions, and then like later, like a couple weeks down the line, or maybe a month, like a month after the impact of Crown Zenith, and see how Japanese prices have changed and possibly because of how English is most likely affected it.
Very true. I'll have to learn how to shut my mouth a little bit more frequently.
Hey, no, it's fine.
I think my
It's a
throat's
passion
kinda
project.
tinny anyways. Baby needs water. Okay, well, I mean, this was supposed to be an extended version of the video, although we've only went like 6 minutes over, so I guess it's not really that extended. With that, I'll throw out a bunch of questions for y'all in the comments. Feel free to comment. I'm going to throw out, let's do like 4 or 5, just so I can milk this extra time that I said I was going to speak. Okay, we already established our first question, which was who's your favorite Pokemon, and how did they influence your journey throughout the entire series. The second question will be on a very blunt perspective question, and that is, as of right now, are you on VSTAR Universe side or Crown Zenith side with all their differences? And, oh my god, what is the word? Not agreements. Differences and similarities that they share. The question 3 is, what is your chase card in either VSTAR Universe or Crown Zenith? Let us know. Question 4 is, are you looking forward to Scarlet Violet base set, or are you going to focus on finishing up other collections and whatnot? And the final question will be, with Crown Zenith or VSTAR Universe, do you plan to buy singles primarily, or are you going to play the patient game and wait for boxes to go down, or hell, just buy them straight off the rip? So, no order those questions. At the very least, one person, that would make my entire year if you did go through all of that. So, thank you if you do. And with that, I think we're actually gonna like legitimately wrap this up. So, do you have anything more to say, Nick?
No, all I just say is hopefully it'd be awesome. Appreciate it if shared it. It'd be really cool if you shared this podcast. It'd be really cool. Um, hell, it'd be insane to see that, to hear one person sat through this entire thing. That'd be really awesome. It would be able to show that we have some reach, of course, and then it would just really just show that it's just two dudes just out here collecting, just for the fun of it. Just ever since we were just younger, it just kicked up even more since we're now more available to purchase stuff and just have fun with it to the very best of our abilities.
Very true. Very true what he said. So yeah, I mean, I just to kind of run off what he said for the last thing. Ultimately, thank you. If it's just one person we're reaching, it really does mean a lot to us, right? We're just here to talk children's playing cards that are shiny. That's quite literally the entire point of this. And if it meant a lot to us, we can hope that it means a lot to you guys as well. And I'm very, very vocal on wanting you guys to speak because we want you guys to feel included on this so then we can share our opinions and perspectives on that too. And trust me, we won't dog on you. Like, we're not like fake like that.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I feel so odd wanting to end it, but it feels like it needs to. So, well, I guess if there was one catchphrase for us, do you have anything in mind, or I'm just gonna throw one out?
Ooh, no, you'd have to give me some time on that one. It'd be pretty. I'd want to leave a good little catchphrase for it. But you can go on ahead with yours.
Well, in the meantime, while we develop a legitimate catchphrase, just remember that when you think that they're done making product, you always got one more in you. So, with that, that is going to end the very first or 0 episode of Shiny Cardboard. No idea when the next video is uploaded. We're kind of like just doing this on a whim. But it's very cool to talk about it nonetheless. So, with that, thank you very much. My name is Matthew. I look forward to communicating news and sharing details on the Pokemon trading card game in the very near future.
And my name is Nicholas. I am very looking forward to just hopefully hearing what anyone would have to say. Just topics, well, just possible topics for the future. Just a little, even if they pertain to us specifically or just the whole community in general. It'd just be great to hear, and we hope to hear from anyone. If this reaches anyone, we'd love to hear from y'all and whenever possible.
Very well. Very, very well. So, on the on the very last note, I'll leave feedback. That's actually very much appreciated as well. So, we've already said our goodbyes, so this is the legitimate goodbye. Thank you for watching so much. You guys have yourselves a damn good one.